welcome back for the third period. Now, we're definitely going on a hard left turn on this. We are doing favorite baseball movies. So we go from hockey straight into baseball.
We've already covered hockey movies. So
Yeah. That we have. But we haven't covered our favorite baseball movies.
no, and it's baseball season, so what better time to talk baseball movies? Why don't you lead off tonight, David?
One of my favorite movies, I would say, is Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. If you build it, they will come. The infamous saying heard throughout, which I thought was a really good movie, especially with, like I said, Kevin Costner, who is one of my favorite actors. And there's actually three actors in there that you definitely would probably know, even if you hear their voice or even see them, because they're these are actors that are very distinct to a role. They're not just like actors. You hear their voice. Who is that again? You hear their voice. You know who it is. One is Kevin Costner, of course. Ray Liotta. Some people wouldn't realize that he was actually in the movie.
Yeah.
And James Earl Jones.
Now, with James Earl Jones and Kevin Costner, they are both in other baseball movies.
Yeah, Kevin Costner, I think, is in 3.
He's in Bull Durham, which he's amazing in Bull Durham. He's probably the best thing about Bull Durham. Crash Davis is literally a very believable baseball character. And then he's in For the Love of the Game, where he's a pitcher. And everyone knows James Earl Jones is in The Sandlot. So don't need to really go in any more deep into that.
Yeah, because I know people, when they think James Earl Jones, they think Star Wars as well, because he's the voice of Darth Vader.
Anyway,
right? But yeah, I just feel it's a good movie just because of what
I find your lack of baseball disturbing.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, I'm done.
No, you're not. But no, I just feel like that's a great movie just because of just what it brings. The love of the game to just building a baseball in your backyard at a cornfield. And all of a sudden, oh, look, there's people playing. Who are you people?
And there's going to be a game next month there.
We're all ghosts.
I think it's going to be the Yankees, and is it the A's playing there next month?
I don't remember. But just imagine that. You wake up, oh, look, there's people playing on the baseball field.
I'm sorry, Yankees and White Sox. And White Sox.
But just think about it, though. It's like you got ghosts on your field. I'm not sure what to do at that point. Okay, I'm done drinking.
It's funny.
I heard a voice that said, "If you build it, they will come."
Last week on the Baseball Together VIP group on Facebook, I posted a picture of a backyard with a wiffle ball field in it, and I said, I'd love to have a yard like this one day. And it got a ton of likes, got a ton of comments. It led to a really fun discussion, and I didn't even think of the parallel until now when you were talking about that.
Yeah, but just imagine walking out to the field, and all of a sudden there's ghosts playing. You're like, coming out from a cornfield.
Let me ask you this: would you do a PD the first thing in the morning when you wake up and walk into your baseball field?
Probably.
Hell of a way to start the day. Some people need a cup of coffee. Others need a PD in the morning. That sounded awful. Oh, my God. Wow. After I said it, I heard it, and I realized it.
Oh, that's great. Gee, Jason, what do you wish for in the mornings?
I don't even know anymore, man. Sleep. I wish for sleep. Holy hell. For those not listening, a PD is a Pete Rose head first slide into the base. Jesus.
Oh, that's great.
It wouldn't be the third period without shenanigans.
Okay, for everybody who wants to watch this, go make sure you hit the third period and see Jason's face when he realizes,
of course,
what is happening.
I said it, and then I immediately realized what I said. I mean, that's what happens when I've been friends with you for 20 years. It's sadly what happens.
Is it sad though?
If I didn't call it, you would have called it. So I have to be ahead of the curve on that.
One of us would have said something, but I was sitting here just like, keep going, keep going, keep going. Sort of like any good friend would do. Just let you keep going and then call it out after a while. I feel that was a great movie just for what it is. For 1989 for when it came out. So what's one of yours?
And I had mentioned this previously on the show. We had Brad and Brig on, but I don't think it gets a lot of love. So I'm going to talk about Mr. Baseball here for a second. I was going to go with Bull Durham, but everyone knows Bull Durham. So I want to kind of give some love to a lesser known baseball movie that I love. Obviously, as Tom Selleck, and we all know, we're well aware I'm a big Magnum PI fan.
Are you really?
You have no idea.
I have an idea.
I definitely own the complete series on DVD.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So deviating here, a couple Christmases ago, Jamie's dad and his girlfriend got me a replica license plate for the for the Ferrari, and it looks exactly like the one on the show. It says Robin 1. It looks like an 80s Hawaiian license plate. It's really cool. Sadly, in my office that I haven't been in for a year. So it's probably collecting dust in my cubicle, but I do have one.
Well, you need to go get it.
Oh, yeah, that's a story for another time. But I think Tom Selleck comes across as a very believable aging baseball player.
Tom Selleck in general is a great actor.
He's an undercover really good athlete too. He was a basketball player at USC. I think he even played football at USC. So I mean, he has the athletic chops to play for a well-known school like that, even back in the 60s. He used to own part of the Detroit Tigers back in the day too. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't. Interesting.
That's his hometown team. It's his favorite team. But another reason why I like this movie is because it was my introduction to Japanese baseball. And I think for a lot of people who saw it when it came out, it was their introduction into Japanese baseball, and the cultural differences between American baseball and Japanese baseball are really prevalent in the movie. And it's part of the plot is, Tom Selleck's character, Jack Elliott is a gaijin, which is a foreigner. It's Japanese talk for foreigner. I'm a wrestling fan. A lot of American wrestlers are gaijin wrestlers in Japan. So it gives, he has to learn how to play the game differently, and it's the growing pains and the cultural changes. It's just a really fun movie to watch. A lot of good humor in it. But I think baseball is the core of the movie, and it really shines through. So that's why it's one of my favorite baseball films.
That's definitely a good one. It's definitely a good movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Definitely a good one.
Dennis Haysbert's in that, who's also Serrano in Major League. Nice. God, a lot of these people do a lot of baseball movies, man. I didn't realize. Kevin Costner did 3. James Earl Jones is in a few. Mm-hmm. Dennis Haysbert, jeez.
Oh yeah. Oh hey, if you're good at that, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
And look at a lot of these actors who are played athletic sports throughout high school, college.
Well, I think a lot of these movies. Guys, like a Kevin Costner, was an athlete. Tom Selleck was an athlete. Charlie Sheen was a pitcher as a teenager. Like,
it's just, why not? If you can do it, why not? If you can fit, I mean, and they'll fit the role, so it's not like they got to go outside their element.
Right.
They're already an athlete to do the movie.
What's another one of yours, David?
Well, funny enough, since we mentioned this, Major League.
That's probably my all-time favorite. So
Just because of everything that is in there. I mean, like you said, Dennis Haysbert is in it as Pedro. It's like now watching the movie, I almost expect him to come out for an insurance commercial. I almost expect it.
Hats for bats, protection for car.
Right? Don't drink the rum. That's just rum.
I love Eddie Harris is low key one of my favorite characters in that movie. Every scene he's in, he steals it for me.
Just that movie in general.
There is,
I mean, just so many quotes.
It is very quotable. Very quotable.
Just a bit outside.
So, fun fact about this movie is Charlie Sheen, because he was a pitcher as a teenager, he was throwing 85-mile-an-hour fastballs while doing the pitching scenes.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. I mean, just be able to do that.
To still be able to do that.
Yeah. Now, fun fact on this one, or not fun fact, but little side note here. Well, the baseball game we went to with my brother and my uncle, too high.
Yeah. I forgot we did that. Yes.
Yeah, we did. And me and you both looked at him and just started laughing.
What do you mean too high? It's too high.
Too high. It's just it's too high. Yeah, James Gambit, who played Lou Brown, he was excellent in that movie.
Lou Brown is the fictional manager I would play for.
I don't gotta do any of this sense. He just pees on the contract.
The same way as I say to Jamie, I would work for Hank Scorpio from The Simpsons. I would play for Lou Brown. I can't think of a better fictional manager than him. He's the epitome of what you expect a baseball manager in a movie to be like.
I mean, just that movie alone, just the way the shenanigans were throughout the movie with Jobu.
I love, speaking of Lou, I love when they call him to offer him the job as managing for the Indians, and he goes, "Hold on, I got a guy on the other line for White Walls."
He's thinking it's a prank. And he's just sitting there, it's like, I mean, what are the chances? You're sitting there at work at your desk, and all of a sudden you get a call.
Well, yeah, that was his off-season job when he wasn't managing in the minors.
So it's like, just to get that call, it's like, hey, you want to go? You want to go manage the Indians? Yeah, okay, whatever.
I like another fun fact from the movie is Wesley Snipes could not actually run at all, so they filmed his scenes in slow motion. That's why every time you see Willie Mays Hayes run, it's in slow motion.
I was gonna say that I remember them saying about that. He played good in the movie.
Yeah, he did his part well. I mean, everyone in that movie did really good. Corbin Burnson, another scene stealer as Dorn.
Roger Dorn.
Also another former amateur athlete before he was an actor.
All I can, there's a scene that I always laugh at when it comes to this movie is when Willie Mays Hayes goes to Jake. They want to sacrifice a chicken, and then Jake brings a bucket of KFC.
I like when Harris is doing the pre-game prayer, and he talks about girdling their loins into the field of battle. Like, who says that?
Right?
That's why he's one of my favorite characters, because every scene he's in, he says or does something so ridiculous.
Well, it's like he says, like, some of those old guys, we got to get an edge on something. A little Crisco, Vaseline. And he starts, like, pointing out where he has it.
Oh, another great Harris scene. And I don't think a lot of people catch it. When they're on the plane and Serrano crosses himself And Harris goes, he knows you're not fooling him. And then he goes back to reading his Hustler. He's reading an adult magazine, and he's judging Serrano about religion.
Priorities.
Well, what are you going to do in the middle seat with the Hustler?
Yeah. But I just love Harry Doyle just sitting there with a bottle of Jack during the game. Listen, he's just
put a dab behind his ear.
I just love, he's just like, listen to this crowd. He's like putting the microphone out just to get something from something.
It's definitely a classic. Again, it's my all-time favorite baseball movie.
Oh yeah, that's definitely some. It's just like the movie Slapshot, always quotable for something. This is the same thing for baseball.
I was gonna say it's the baseball equivalent. Yeah,
or even Caddyshack. For golf. I mean, this is that type of movie.
What I was going to make that comparison earlier, as far as the quotability, like a Caddyshack, like a Slapshot. That's what makes it so great. Is it's a movie you can watch and relate to. You can relate to the characters and their struggle, and you can walk away and you have a ton of quotes that you can say forever and ever.
Mm-hmm. Of course, so then you got Wesley Snipes in the dugout. We should have just got a live chicken. So what's yours then?
So my other one's a newer one, and it's one I kind of just stumbled over maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, just looking for something to watch, and it was a free movie on Prime, and I'm like, well, I'll give it a shot. It's a movie called Undrafted. It's a comedy drama. It takes place in the span of one game. And it was written by Joe Mazzello, who was the little kid in Jurassic Park.
Jeez.
And he played the bass player for Queen in Bohemian Rhapsody. He's a good actor. But now the movie is actually inspired by his brother. His brother was a really great amateur baseball player where they're from, and everyone thought he would get drafted into MLB in their amateur draft. He never got drafted. So that was kind of the basis of the movie. Pardon me. With that said, the movie is hilarious. It takes place in the course of one game. The team that Maz's team plays against is loaded with ringers, guys who are like top prospects for minor league teams. They're getting their butts kicked. The team's quirky. They eat ice cream before every game. They sing the All-American Baseball League Girls song before every game. There's a guy having mental breakdowns in the outfield. It's so ridiculous. And I sat there and I laughed my butt off watching it. And I remember saying to Jamie after I watched it, I'm like, look, this is a straight up B, C level movie, but you got to watch it. It's hilarious. She sat on the couch with me and she's laughing watching it. So I knew it was good when she started laughing and watching it. I would say it's better than Slapshot 2, which we have sat and laughed our butts off at. So,
and Slapshot 2 was there.
But one of
after what you showed me, sorry to interrupt, but after what you showed me before we started the third period for the trailer, I have to watch it now.
Oh, you trust me, you will like it. It is absolutely up your alley. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is you're not supposed to have hard plays at home plate. Well, the one guy on the other team charges the catcher and lays him out cold, and it starts a bench clearing brawl. The cops show up, the ambulance shows up, 2 guys get put in the squad car, and the umpire's like, the cop goes, anything else happens, the game's canceled and you guys are getting arrested. No sooner does the cop say that, they're in the dugout and the pitcher goes, I'm beating the next guy that comes up.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I gotta watch this.
Definitely have to watch this. Like there's nothing that was said went into his head and stayed there.
Gee, sounds like a lot of people.
But it's a lot of fun to watch. I'm not saying it's a great movie by any means, but it's a lot of fun to watch, and I'm a champion of how much I enjoyed this film, and I think a lot of other people would enjoy it if they gave it a shot.
Well, some of the best movies that are like one of those aren't the greatest, but yet still make you laugh, still make you, you know.
I can tell you this, if it was Comedy Central 20 years ago, it had been played like 5 times already this season.
Comedy Central is always one to overshoot things.
But yeah, I highly recommend it. Anyone listening, it is a fun watch. I think it might actually be on Tubi now, if you have the Tubi app. Tubi,
Pluto TV, Vudu, Amazon. According to what I just looked up here on Google on that, they're free to watch. I guess Amazon, if you have a Prime membership, it's a free to watch. Apple TV, it is $5.
Tubi, it's free with commercials because Tubi's free for anyone, but you have to sit through some commercials. Again, real fun watch. I think a lot of our listeners would enjoy it if they gave it a shot.
I'm definitely watching it. Hopefully I get to watch it this weekend, but
well, text me, let me know what you think after you watch it.
You know, it's the weekend with family, so it's good luck. But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to watch that. Oh man. But yeah, some of these movies though that we see, like those are definitely good ones. Definitely comedies, definitely fun to watch. So on that note, that'd be the end of the third period. Gotta love comedy movies.
A lot of the baseball comedies are really good. I'm waiting for Disney Plus to put up Angels in the Outfield from 1995.
Yeah, I'm shocked that that's not on there yet.
Yeah, I am too. Another fun one.
That was a long time. Was it Christopher Lloyd was in that?
Yes, he was the Angel. Tony Danza. McConaughey was in it, actually, as one of the players.
It's been a long time since I've even seen that movie, but yeah, you're right. I'm kind of shocked that Disney's, it's not on Disney Plus right now.
Yeah, me too. I mean, crazy. Summer Catch, which is kind of inching in on my shoulder here. That's a throwaway one, but it's not terrible. It's about the Cape Cod League. And that's a fun watch. It's more of a rom-com than it is a flat-out comedy, but the baseball scenes are fun. I guess we'll get into plugs here real quick. Friend of the show, Adam Van, my rival on the A Show, and his co-host, the winner of the Season 1 A Show tournament, Joe Sposto, are the hosts of At Odds with Wrestling. You can find them wherever you get your podcasts. Join them weekly for a lot of fun wrestling talk. I always talk about when they give each other homework. I think that's one of my favorite segments on the show. You can catch me every month on the Philly Baseball Together podcast with my co-host Tori. Once a month, we will bring you our thoughts and or anger on the Phils. That is under the Baseball Together podcast network. You can find that wherever else you get your podcasts. Deep breath. Thank you for joining us for episode 24 of the Not Another Sports Podcast. You can find the Not Another Sports Podcast online at facebook.com/NotAnotherSportsPod, at Twitter, at Not Another Sport 1, at Instagram, at NASPod20, at TikTok, NASPod20, and you can find us on YouTube. Please feel free to like, follow, comment, message us, interact with us. That's why we have social media, folks. Let us know what your favorite baseball movies are. We love hearing from you guys, whether it be personal messages, posts on Facebook, Twitter, what have you. The Not Another Sports Podcast is available for streaming or download at Anchor.fm, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. With that, I am Jason.
I'm David.
And we will talk with you next time.
Have a good one.